everyone to our episode 19 of Drops of Wisdom. In today's episode, we are going to discuss the book Philosophy for Life by Jules Evans. And we are going to talk about shifting your perception to heal. Many of the toxic cycles of thoughts start with an underlying subconscious programming that replays the messages, examples, voices of our most painful experiences, as well as the thing that we are paying attention to, the toxic news, and any of these social media comparison and anxiety that is creating, depending on what you are looking for, of course. Therefore, many times, without noticing, we let those beliefs create a threatening situation, which is going to activate your whole body into an alarming system. But in fact, our experiences, beliefs, and things that happen, encounters and relationships, are not as bad as they seem. Just an adjustment in the way we see the things can change the whole experience that we are living and how our body is reacting. Much of the modern science of happiness is inspired by Greek and Roman philosophy. For example, cognitive behavioral therapy or CBT and modern science-based psychotherapy is inspired by ancient philosophy and especially by the disciplines of Socrates known as the Stoics. Even from those stages of time and ancient wisdom is coming all the therapy and all the things that we are seeing now. They are just, sometimes they are just changing even the name, but the underlying concepts and messages are the same. So, what is the main quote that will allow you to reflect in these kind of processes of thinking? Men are not disturbed by things but by their opinions about them. This was told by Epictetus in ancient Greece. First, we experience an activating event, which is A, which our beliefs interpret, this is B, step B, and which has emotional consequences, C. So we are creating a cycle that can be virtuous or can be a toxic cycle, depends on your perception. For example, when you fail in your driving test, that's A, that's the event, that's the triggering factor, and think you are a failure, that's B, that's your perception and the beliefs of the past or of many voices or people that nurtured you in childhood, then you may well feel worthless. That is your choice. That's the letter C. So if we react in that way, just as the example, we are going to create a toxic cycle that can lead you either to depression or anxiety. But what do the Stoics and CBT argue about this? If we change our beliefs, the step B, the perception, we change our emotions. By reconceiving failure not as a fault of character but as an opportunity to learn, we can avoid many mental disorders like depression, anxiety, or just raising the stress to the levels that are going to trigger you and are going to affect your whole body. Embrace your failure and empower with the knowledge of your weakness in the test. Practice that parking maneuver like obsessively until you handle it, until you are able to dominate the test. That's what we can do instead of leading us to a toxic cycle of thought. Aristotle's ancient philosophy of flourishing is the basis of positive psychology, another modern science that is based on ancient Greece principles. Flourishing is attained by engaging our highest drives to develop ourselves to the highest level. It's not just personal development every now and then. It's every day. It's a ritual. Like, for example, striving for artistic mastery. Any kind of hobby that you have, if you practice more and more, it can become now something that you will get very good at. And you are going to create, probably, you can even create something with that hobby and that artist, new endeavors and skills. So this is the process that we have to follow in order to understand that we can change the perception, the beliefs, and shift the paradigm of leading us to any of these mental diseases. That, by the way, this May month is Mental Awareness Month. So we are helping with these topics for people that are right now suffering of anxiety, as it is extremely high, the number of people that are having anxiety due to these isolation issues, and also the symptoms, the side effects of many of the things that you probably consume to avoid the disease. So it's just paying attention more to ourselves than to what is being played for us. A course of CBT commonly lasts only 16 weeks, the time that most patients take to recover from common mental disorders such as social anxiety, post-traumatic stress disorder or PTSD, and depression. So that's 16 weeks, what it takes to heal a patient. But ancient philosophy was to be practiced every day for years as an enduring therapy of the soul, as a ritual to nurture yourself, to heal your mental health, to produce a much better experience in your life. This lifelong commitment meant that ancient philosophers moved beyond simple self-improvement, with the goal of radically transforming themselves and potentially transforming the society that they live in by leading by the example. So that's what we should be doing right now. We can start gathering more people to this kind of wellness, to this kind of rituals that are going to cultivate a much better experience of life if we start with us, if we start caring more for what we feel, for how can we shift the perception. So in order to understand deeper this kind of CBT therapy or the ancient philosophy of the Stoics, let's analyze another example and see the diagram of how can we change. There is a situation. This is the trigger. This is what happens. Criticized by in your work. So that's the trigger. Then you go down to your thoughts. What are you thinking usually? I'm not good enough. Then it leads to emotions. Worry, you feel worthless, you become anxious. Those emotions are going to lead to an unconscious behavior. You will avoid contact with other people because you have been criticized. You will feel less, you will feel worthless, you won't have confidence. And those behaviors are going to create physical reactions. If your system is being led through this diagram, through these emotions, you are activating the stress system. You are activating your body to react and to drain all your energy towards the threat. So you feel tired, depleted, and you lose appetite, or you start consuming toxic food. And that leads to more toxic thoughts. And that's the way you close the cycle. That's the toxic cycle. You can stop this cycle if you start in the perception. You were criticized at work. Well, what are you going to think? You made a mistake. Everyone can make a mistake, and that's it. You were yelled by your boss. Why? Just analyze why, and also understand that that is not a displayed behavior that you should have by your boss or by anyone. So just shift the perception and try to see what happened, and try to see who also was acting unconsciously or just by the program. And then you shift your emotions. If you just see that as a mistake and you were just criticized because you didn't do it well, or you had a mistake, or you were not prepared, it's just that. Anyone can have a bad day, even the best, even the highest players, even the best performers. So just have grace for you, analyze the fact, change the emotions, and take that as gasoline to learn, to understand, and to change, and to see I can do it better next time. I can get into another meeting or into another project and prove that I can do it right. That's it. And then physical reactions, you are going to be motivated by that mistake, by making it better, by improving yourself. And your thoughts are going to be I'm confident, I'm able, I'm skillful, I'm intelligent enough, and I can have brain plasticity to understand what happened. And that's it. And you close the cycle, but in a positive direction, not in the negative one that is going to lead you to anxiety or depression. So I hope these tips help you and help anyone that is dealing with difficulties right now. Was just an example, but any kind of situation can be just stripped and disassembled in these kind of diagrams, where you can stop your thoughts, perceive the things as they are, and detach from the emotions and change the cycle into a positive direction. Thank you very much for paying attention, for being here. I ask just one thing from you. Please help me to share this information so that more people be awakened and more people start working with themselves. That's the way we are going to rewire and change a society. And that's what we all want, to live in a more healthier environment. Thank you. Have a wonderful afternoon. We will see each other next week. And be patient for this month. Be in tune with my events, my page, and the announcements, because in May, at the end of May, I'm going to release a masterclass that is going to touch one of the 5 pillars. I'm not going to tell you the topic right now, but soon you will know what it's about. It will be very accessible for everyone. So just be patient and be on the look. Bye.